Hey everyone, welcome to part 6 of this Baldur's Gate 3 trophy and achievement walkthrough. We just finished rescuing Volo and we're in the Goblin camp, but we're going to be leaving it now to go over to the Emerald Grove where we're going to make some really great progress toward a future trophy. So we're going to just run down this main hallway until we get back outside and then we can do some fast traveling. I hope that you're enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying playing through it and making it for you. If you do, then make sure that you hit that like button and also subscribe so you can stay up to date with the future. Well, now that we're outside, we're going to do some fast traveling. Going to the southeast will take us to the Emerald Grove environs, and we're able to fast travel over here. Now follow the path over toward the right side. We're going to get back to the main battlefield area right outside the Grove's main gate, and this is where we were able to get the shove-off trophy as well. So before you go inside, do some looting. Make sure that you collect everything like the gloves of power that you can loot from Zakrug here, and then go over to the main gate and just stand in front of it for a second, and the gate will open by itself when you get close by. After that happens, just run straight up inside to the Emerald Grove, and when you get into the main area, then you'll get a cutscene.
There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
One fight just ended, and now you're picking another? Relax.
Tell that to the dead at the gate.
Shut it, Horns! I'd be lying dead next to the goblins if you'd stalled any longer.
My duty is to this camp.
Oh, God forbid you risk your precious tail. But I shouldn't be surprised. Foulbloods ain't known for courage.
You see the Tiefling's jaw clench. He's about to erupt.
Persuasion. More violence won't bring back those you lost. Stop and think. Here's a skill check looking for a value of 15, and you can see that despite the fact that I have a charisma bonus, persuasion proficiency, and some guidance, I only rolled a 3, and that wasn't enough to get me to where I needed to be. So I did fail here. However, I can use a inspiration point to roll the dice again, and this time it works out better. Always make sure that you save before doing these things so that you can always reload it if you need to.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides, the both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
So the race with the red skin and the horns, they're called Tieflings, and we do have a trophy and achievement related to saving all of them, and it's pretty complex and fairly difficult, but I'm going to walk you through everything you need to do to get that very safely. So starting off, we're going to run over toward the right side here, and we're going to climb up this path, all of these little rocks here, and as we get up to the top part here, we're going to get into a battle where a bugbear assassin is going to be attacking Nadira. What we need to do is to get up there and to save Nadira's life. We have to take out this bugbear assassin before it can take out Nadira. So we're going to run up here using our great mobility with the monk, and we're just going to attack it like crazy, doing lots of damage. The next thing that I'm going to do is to take my other party members. I don't have enough movement to get them up to really do anything at this point. I'm just going to move them up a little bit closer just to keep the party together, but it's really just going to be my monk to do all of the heavy work here. Here it's Lae'zel's turn. We're just going to move her up and then skip the rest of the turn going over to Shadowheart. We're going to move her up, and then it's going to be the Bugbear Assassin's turn to attack. Unfortunately, he does connect and do a little bit of damage against me. Nadira runs off. That's perfect. We just need her to stay safe. And another follow-up attack from the monk, and that battle is over. So Nadira is going to come walking back, and we can take a moment to just loot this enemy, this Bugbear Assassin. And when Nadira comes back, she's going to sit on this rock, and we can talk to her.
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. Too bad. I earned it, fair and square.
Deception. You got me. Hand over the coin and I'll be on my way. Here we have a skill check only of 5. We have an advantage here. We're not going to lose, so just roll the dice and we get it very easily.
That bloody Irenes! Devils just can't stand to lose. Here. Now go back to the pit that made you.
For the trophy, we just have to save her life. We don't have to have her like us. We did get the soul coin, which has a kind of an interesting use. We can give it to a future party member to give them a passive buff. So we're just going to keep this, and you can see that these coins can power infernal engines that is directly related to a future character. So we're just going to keep heading back down the way that we came, and just go down all of these cliffs again until we get back to the bottom part. And as you run through here, stop by this dirt mound. We're going to dig it up using the shovel that we have. And remember, we have to get 5 of these unlocked throughout the game. We just have to dig up 5 different treasure chests. And if we do that, then we get a trophy. So go ahead, dig this one up on your way out. And then after you loot it, we're going to just keep heading back through this path here. And just keep going all along this path here, back toward the main gate area, and then we're going to go over toward the right side and just run down the path. So here's the main gate on our left. We're going to turn toward the right. We're going to run right past this Zevlor guy. He's the one who's in the argument at the beginning of this place. And we're going to head down here into the hollow. The game will do a little autosave as we get through here. There's a merchant on our right-hand side, so you can shop there if you want to. Otherwise, run up here and talk to this group, this Rolan guy.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blades and spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay. These people aren't fighters. We can help.
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
Now you have to persuade him either by using that option, or if you're a monk, you can say, to leave is a heavy choice, it will weigh on whatever path you walk next.
Just like I was saying, I don't want all these lives on my conscience. We need to stay.
Zerg. Fine. We'll stay. If we survive, it'll make for a good story, I suppose.
Thank you, Rolan.
Alright, so we saved Nadira from the Bugbear Assassin, and we convinced Rolan to stay. So those are 2 things we need to get to save the Tieflings. Now let's run over and talk to Wyll.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
It's good advice, child. You'd do well to listen.
You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The blade of frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship.
Yes, and we both carry parasites.
Doomed to shed our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles. Not yet, anyway. Could just be good luck. I'm not so...
Your minds collide once more. Wyll chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil. A threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Who is she?
Her name is Karlach. An archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
Let's join forces. I'll help you cast this devil back into the hells.
An excellent suggestion, but your party's full up. Still, when the time comes, call for the blade. I won't be long to answer.
Go to my camp and wait for me.
A splendid plan. We'll talk more there.
Alright, well there's another recruitable character that we have on our team, and there's a trophy related to him as well.
I saw you at the gates. You fight well. A few words for the kids? Spare a story or two.
Be strong and watch over your kin. In trust there is victory.
Thanks. I prefer when they smile.
After having that conversation, we're going to head down this ramp here, going toward that wooden gate at the back, and we're going to start a pretty tricky series of events to get a trophy, and we have to save a goblin named Sazza. So let's go into the makeshift prison and start this cutscene.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with.
Step between the crossbow and the goblin.
Looks like the Absolute sent me a protector. You're gonna kill him too? You, move!
Monk in sight. I sense the pain you carry, but killing this creature will not ease your burden. Well, we have a skill check looking for a 10. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. And we get a 17 plus 2 and another 4 with 23. That's definitely a success.
You're right. I wish you weren't. I really do. Damn you. Damn it! Why do you care if a goblin lives or dies?
If she dies, she'll take everything she knows to the grave.
If you believe anything the beast tells you, you're an idiot.
It's all right, Arca. Let's go.
It is extremely important that you choose that option to stand in front of the crossbow. That not only saves Arca for the save all of the Tieflings trophy, but you also have to save Sazza. And what we need to do here is to switch over to Astarion. He's better at picking locks. Sazza keeps a pretty close eye on you, so if you try to hide in this area, she's just going to see you and make you stand back up. So just talk to the Iron Gate to start a conversation with her in the cave.
What you messing with my cage for? It's too late to make friends, warg meat. My tribe's coming. They're gonna burn this pretty place for the glory of the Absolute and hang you by your guts.
I just saved your life. Show some gratitude.
They'll peel your face off and nail it to a wall. I ain't scared of some god. Stick a dozen arrows in me and Priestess Gut'd still patch me up. Got a whole lab set up. Cooks up potions that fix our lads, no matter how much of a beating they take. Could probably stick your head back on if someone was to chop it off. Mighty booyog.
Bah! A clever goblin's like a trustworthy gig. A figment of the imagination.
Well, I'd certainly like to meet her.
Get me out of here, and I'll tell you where to find her. Deal?
Deal. I'll get you out of here.
Then hurry up and do it. My tribe ain't as friendly as I am.
Well, we made a deal to get Sazza out of there, so let's lockpick the Iron Grate. We get a skill check looking for a 10. We need to have some thieves' tools. If you don't have those, the merchant on the way into town, he does have some for you as well, so you can get them there if you need to. Otherwise, roll the dice. With all the bonuses we have with the Astarion, we definitely succeed getting through here very easily. Now that that Iron Grate is unlocked, we can just open up the cage door. So I'm just going to switch over back to my monk and then go over toward that Iron Grate, and we'll just open it up, and Sazza will walk out. Now that Sazza is free from the cage, we have to figure out how we're going to get her out of the grove. Now we can either go out the front door, but that poses some challenges because everyone who sees us is going to question us, giving us a lot of skill checks to do. What you can do, however, is come around the back side and you can jump down to this lower portion here, and then you can interact with the stone door to go into a new area called the underground passage. Now be careful going through here because there's some traps and some enemies up ahead. You can see over on the right side there's going to be a giant bear over here. We do not want that thing to really see us, so we're just going to creep around here and we're going to get close to this glowing blue rune over on the side. Just be careful to not walk where these enemies' vision are. Eventually one of them will turn and that gives us a little opening to come over here, interacting with the rune of the bear that disables the trap from this big statue that would be shooting fireballs at us. So now let's take out the enemies. We're going to switch over to Astarion and we're going to stay just outside of their field of view. We want to be just outside this red part here, and then what we can do is use his ability to launch sneak attacks because we're unseen right now. So let's use a sneak attack to use a range attack on Sharp Eye Gurza, and that's going to take him out. Now, we commence the battle, but the enemy still doesn't know where we are. It's really just Astarion versus everyone else. So we're going to continue to use ranged attacks to take out this Tracker Torak next. Another shot, and he's out of the way. And we're going to then complete our turn by going over toward the side here. We can just sneak right over around, and then we're going to use our bonus action to use Cunning Action Hide. So now the enemy still doesn't know where we are. We're hiding right in plain sight, and they can't really do anything because they don't see an enemy. Back to Astarion's turn, we can now launch another attack against the guys here, so we'll use that same ranged attack to take out Warrior Gresh. And he's out of the way. We're going to just go back into hiding, and we'll use that Cunning Action Hide once again. Well, at this point, the enemy still can't see us, so we just need to mop up this one last enemy. Let's go ahead and use another sneak attack ranged to attack the guy up on the hill here. This is Tracker Worm, and we'll hit him. And that's how you take out all of the enemies without being seen or hit once. Okay, so now what we want to do is to get all of our party members back up and standing, so we'll just tell them all, okay, stand back up, stop hiding, there's no reason to hide now. Now let's switch over to Shadowheart, and there's a guy on the ground, not Warrior Gresh, the guy next to him named Findal, and we're going to use our Healing Word spell to give a little bit of health to Findal, and that will make him regain consciousness. And after that, we can talk to him.
Let's move.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I thought I was gonna die down here.
I'm surprised the goblins didn't gut you on sight. Why didn't they?
They were asking questions about a weapon. I told them the only weapons here are the ones the Foulbloods brought. I must tell the others what happened. I stepped careful. There are traps in these tunnels. And thank you again.
Alright, Findal's running back to camp, so that's all good. If we really wanted to, we could have pickpocketed him while he was unconscious, but I'm going to be nice and not do that. We can now loot all the enemies down here, getting some nice gold and some other things. And what we want to do is, instead of heading all the way along this path, we want to go the more complicated route of jumping up all of these little ledges here. If you were to run up the path, there's a good chance that another one of those statues would start attacking you by shooting fireballs at you, and that would do a lot of damage that we don't want to have right now. So let's just go up this path, and then we're going to sneak around over toward this glowing blue rune on the rock wall here, and we can interact with the rune of the eagle. That's going to disable the big eagle statue right next to us so it won't start shooting at us. And now we just have to go back to where Sazza is, so let's retrace our steps. We're going to either go down that rock wall, or now that it's safe, we can run right around to the side here. So we'll go through here, look out for the mud on the ground. If you walk through it, you'll see that your feet turn red and you just slow down. You can either jump over it or just walk around it to try to avoid the mud as best as possible. And it doesn't really do anything to you, it doesn't hurt you, it just slows you down, and we don't want to take more time doing this than absolutely necessary. So let's run around here, and then we're going to go back out the stone door into the makeshift prison portion of the hollow. Now we're just going to go back over here, and then we can jump across the gap to get back to where Sazza is. You can see her over there. Let's walk over and talk to her.
I met your friend. Ready to go?
Follow me. I'll keep you safe.
Happily. Lead the way.
Well, now that we've cleared out all of the dangers on the path to the side, let's go back over here. We'll jump over the gap, and then we will wait for all of our party members and Sazza to jump down with us. So here comes Sazza. We're good now. Let's go through the stone door. And now we just have to run all the way to the other side, and Sazza will follow us along. As we run through here, I just want to thank you for your continued support of the series. Every time you watch one of my videos and comment down below, or hit that like button, or share it with a friend, even if you just share it with yourself, that's really good for that YouTube algorithm to promote this video series to more people. So thank you for every little thing that you do. I really appreciate it. I am on that road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Those little things mean a lot to me. Well, now that we're at the end of the tunnel, we'll just let all of our party members catch up to us, and then we can head on through the stone door.
Thought I was never gonna get out of there. Good to be free again, gotta say.
You made me a promise, remember?
Never break a promise, unless there's something in it for me. I'll introduce you to my whole tribe, and put in a good word for you. See you at the camp.
Alright, you can see that she's now going to be free and take off running. That is the first of 3 times that we need to save her for one of the trophies. She's going to take off running along this path here. She's going to get all the way over to this main part here before she goes into the goblin camp area. We're not going to follow her just yet. Instead, we're going to go up this path here toward that yellow circle on our map. And now what we're going to do is just run straight ahead and then over toward the right side. We're going to get up these little rock steps, and then we'll see a couple people over here. Let's go over and interact with them.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Medicine. His wounds look deep. I might be able to help. Here's a skill check looking for 10. Not very difficult with the bonuses that we have. Always make sure, however, to save before these things, just in case something bad happens. Well, we succeeded, and now we can continue on with this dialogue tree.
He's hurt badly, and Owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head.
Hold his stare.
Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits, yours to shepherd.
Protect them. He's a true soul. Mind him. He will. He.
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
You need to find the beast and avenge your brother.
What?
It killed one of us.
It killed Edwin. It's an enemy of the Absolute. You're right, sir. The beast must be destroyed.
The cave is just ahead. It was too much for us before, but if you could help us, True Soul, we may stand a chance.
They spoke of the Absolute. Same as that goblin's Sazza. Curious.
Now let's interact with Edwin's body.
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you.
Follow your instincts. Don't be afraid.
Your limbs move of their own accord. There's something of value here, something your mind craves. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
Let your body guide you. Welcome the tadpole's influence.
This one is a true soul parasite. It can enhance you. You can absorb its potential. Open your mind to it. You already know how.
Open your mind to the tadpole.
Your mind swells as it subsumes everything the tadpole has to offer. Everything it was and everything it was destined to be. Pure potential. Pure power.
Good. You have grown your power and improved your chances of survival.
We get the Mind Flayer Parasite specimen, that's very important for us, and then loot his body. You want to grab everything that's in there. He's got some good supplies, as well as a shaft of a broken spear. Then talk to Astarion.
So, you've indulged. Just helped yourself to a little more power, I see. And there isn't a tentacle to be seen. Not a bad deal, I'd say. My only complaint is that you didn't want to share. I wouldn't mind indulging myself.
Maybe another time.
I might just hold you to that.
From our spot here on the top of the hill, we're going to run down the path over to where the water is. Now there are some resources down here on the way. Just as a reminder, you can push down the right analog stick and that will show you where things are. So right next to us are some leather boots, and then we can pick up the wisp weed next to us. That will unlock a new recipe for the sublimate of wisp weed, and then we'll collect the other ones on the other side and then go across the water here so that we can pick up the myrgrass on the other side of it. This is all part of getting one trophy later on. A lot of the trophies in this game require a long setup to do, and this is just one example of those things. So this video is full of starting off little trophies like that, like saving all the Tieflings and rescuing Sazza, and now we have to work on this Owlbear Cub. So we're going to run into the Owlbear's nest and then just follow the two people straight ahead. We're going to hang over toward the right side here, going past the waterfall, and we're going to go to the other side of this little bridge here, and that will take us to where the large owlbear mother and the cub are waiting for us. It's a good idea to save the game just for safety before doing this.
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness.
We have a few options for how to handle this, either animal handling, survival, or performance. I'm just going to try the animal handling one to begin. So let's study the owlbear's behavior. Here's a skill check looking for a 15. We do have a little bonus to our wisdom as well as that guidance ability from Shadowheart. Even with those things, I come up a little bit short, but I'm not going to use an inspiration point. We're just going to accept it and then move on.
You can only surmise the obvious. The owlbear is out for blood.
Let's try another option. This time we'll use survival back away. We have another skill check looking for that 15. Let's roll it and see what we get. This time we end up with 16, and our bonuses mean that we succeed in this one.
The owlbear stares, but doesn't move to attack. The way out seems clear.
We were able to make it through that without immediately getting into a fight, and we're going to use that to our advantage by now launching a sneak attack against it. We do want to take out that mother owlbear, but we will not be attacking the baby owlbear. So make sure that you are hiding over in the corner here. We can switch over to Astarion, and we're going to use a sneak attack ranged attack to hit the owlbear and begin the battle from an advantage. We will be able to surprise it so that we get a free turn here. As soon as it walks into this white circle, we're able to hit it. Now it's in range, so let's go ahead and fire off a first shot that is going to do lots of damage and surprise it. So we're now able to use our monk's superior movement to get really close and do some good damage. So we have a big critical hit here, and now we're going to use Flurry of Blows Stagger to do 2 more good hits against it. Let's end that turn and go over to Astarion, and we're going to use 1 more of his sneak attack ranged attacks to launch 1 more attack against this owlbear, and with a big critical hit, that'll end the fight.
Cub looks from you to his dead mother. A single strike will end his suffering.
Now it's very important to choose let the creature live. You do not want to attack it or you're going to lose out on a trophy.
You watch speechless as the cub begins to eat his mother.
I can provide for the cub. Perhaps it'll live.
Mercy. Of course.
Now let's loot the owlbear's corpse, and when you interact with it, you can see that there is the head of a broken spear. Go ahead and collect that, and then talk to one of the 2 people here.
It's dead. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. I wish Edwin were here. He would have been honored to fight alongside you. What would you have of us now, sir?
Find the nearest stronghold and report on your mission.
Edwin told us there was a camp of faithful goblins nearby. We'll find safe harbor there. He'd want us among friends. Absolute protect you.
Now they're going to run off and go to the goblin camp. We can see them there a little bit later on. So let's just run along this path now. We're going to just leave the cave. And I'll show you what you can do with that broken spearhead. And it's something that we can actually combine with another item. It's kind of cool. I did not know this the first time I played through it. I actually am doing this now on a kind of replay. As I edit things, if I see something that's not quite right, I actually go back and I replay the section to get a better little chunk of footage for you. Just a part of my quality control process here. So we're leaving this cave, and we're now going to go into our inventory. You can just open up the main radial menu, go to the character sheet, and we're going to go down to the head of the broken spear. You can see that, as well as the shaft of the broken spear. You can now use the actions to combine that spear head with the shaft of the broken spear. So go down, it's probably toward the bottom of your inventory list here. You can see the one highlighted in gold here, and just above it is going to be the head of the broken spear. Let's select that and then combine those 2 things together. We get an inspiration point because we are a guild artisan. We chose that at the beginning of the game as a part of our background, getting a little bit of experience too, and we get the vision of the absolute. This is a new spear that we can use, so let's check it out. On our list here, it's this new green weapon. It does 4 to 11 damage, and it has the skill Absolute Knight. Blinds targets that fail a dexterity saving throw, deal an additional 2 to 12 piercing damage to certain creatures that sport multiple sets of eyes. That's pretty interesting. We also picked up the Gloves of Power. This was from one of the enemies right outside the Grove's main gate. We got that at the very beginning of the video, so go ahead, throw that on if you want to, and we're going to put the Vision of the Absolute on Shadowheart, because she's the one who's sporting spears right now. So go ahead, throw that on her. It does up the damage a little bit, so that's pretty nice for us too. I also think that it looks pretty good cosmetically. It's got this nice little purple color to it running through the spear and at the end of it, so that looks really nice. Unfortunately, like I said a few moments ago, this was done on a replay through as I'm trying to edit the video together, so I'm not going to have this in the next part, but you should definitely do it because it is an upgrade for you. Well, that's going to do it for part 6. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so already. It really helps me out, and I appreciate it. So I'll see you soon for part 7. Until then, have a good day.